Social manipulation is a powerful tool. The ability to use your own cognitive, instinctual biases against you to manipulate the masses to turn profit. In this video, we're going to be talking about the recent Twitter hacks. All these prominent figures at one time simultaneously getting hacked and then directing them to a Bitcoin scam. How classic. In this video, we'll be diving into all the details, and I'll be talking about this is probably one of the most bullish signs I have seen in a while. Keep watching. Hopefully, you guys didn't get taken advantage of in this recent, Twitter hack with the Bitcoin sending to address. Now, if that slightly enticed you, if you got a little bit happy about that and was about to send your money to this address, I really hope you guys reevaluate what you understand about the market, because this was a very obvious scam. I don't want you getting scammed in the future. But basically, if you guys don't know what's going on, Apple, big brands like Apple with 4.6 million followers, Binance with 1.1 million followers, Coinbase 1.1, you got CoinDesk, huge following, Gemini Exchange, huge following, Uber, huge 1 million, people follow Uber, Jeff Bezos 1.5, there's even crazier, Kanye West 30 million people. Right? List just keeps going. 51 million, followers with Bill Gates, right? Elon Musk, huge figure. Joe Biden, right? 6.9 million. Barack Obama. All these big people got hacked at the same time. At the same time, I actually added them all together. And it happens to be that they had access, these hackers had access to 260 million people, okay, to spread whatever message that they wanted. Somebody got access to these accounts, was able to post whatever they wanted on these very high profile accounts, and they took advantage. What did they do? They sent them to a Bitcoin scam, the classic Bitcoin scam. I know a lot of you have been seeing it recently with running ads. They're actually running ads. Now there's three methods I've seen this before. The first method is them just trying to rank a video on YouTube. What they'll do is they make an actual fake live stream. They'll take a video from some YouTuber or some popular video. They'll buy a whole bunch of fake followers, and they'll use a common name like Binance Association or whatever the interview itself is, whoever's involved. They'll make a whole account with fake subscribers. You could tell by clicking, if you see how many videos they made, they only made one video, and they'll live stream it. In this live streaming, what it does is it actually puts their video up to the top of the search algorithm. So when you search a coin like VeChain or something like that, or any coin that you're looking into, you see this live stream, you click on it and you see that there's a whole bunch of people watching with a huge subscriber base account, if that makes sense. So that's tricking people to do things like giveaways, right? So right now they just did this, exactly the same exact method with Twitter. Basically they say, hey, we're doing a charity event, send us 1 Bitcoin, we'll double it or give you more back. Right? But we all know that this is the blockchain. Once you send it, there is no refund, right? And hackers will take advantage of you through the power of cryptocurrency. And this has happened a lot. We've seen the ads. People are actually running YouTube ads, with these live streams, as well as putting it organically, like I said, the first case. And then now we see that they're actually hacking, Twitter accounts and accessing big audience, guys. Peel back the layers of exactly how cryptocurrency work. It's clear what they were trying to do to the narrative of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We're going to dive into all those details. This is actually a very big bullish indicator for me, at least, from what I understand in this cryptocurrency market. There's nothing more than fundamental news like this driving the adoption of Bitcoin in the medium to long term. Nobody can predict the short term, but over time, we can have a pretty good estimate with historical relevance. But before we get started, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, my name is Alex. I talk about cryptocurrency, entrepreneurship, investing. I'm a futurist. Do us both a favor, hit that subscribe button, as well as the push notification bell, because there's some interesting stuff here. We talk about money, we talk about, macroeconomics, all the relations of how our value is transferred throughout history, throughout the future, right? How is value transferred? This is one of the most important subjects. Everybody should have known this in school. They don't teach finance in schools. Let me paint a picture for you guys. So as you can see here, this is on Google Trends. It's the number 8th most trending searches, I guess you can say. Twitter hack. People got hacked and they put this Bitcoin scam. Now, as you can see here, it's dying down. And this is a small amount of searches in relation to other big search terms like Bitcoin or something like that. This is absolutely nothing. Let's look in the past like 90 days, 12 months. Nobody's been really searching this. It's not that big of a deal. Twitter hack is not something that should move mass amounts of people. I want you to really make that apparent to you guys, because if you compare this, for example, to like Bitcoin or something like that on Google Trends, you can see that it's absolutely nothing. in comparison. There's nobody really searching, Twitter hack. So the relevance is not that big. But the reason why I want to show you that is because this was a bad attempt, right? All these people got hacked. And if you go on Google and you search Twitter hack, you could literally see headlines, Bitcoin scam, right? They talk about Biden, Gates, and the first thing you see is Bitcoin scam. Also, cryptocurrency scam. Huge articles, right? You could even scroll some more and you can see again, Bitcoin stolen, right? What they're trying to do, and this is what I've seen in the past, they're trying to relay negativity to Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And that's what I mean by it's a bullish indicator. Let me show you what I'm saying. So this article here, you guys can read it for yourself. It talks about social clicks. And who and what gets read on Twitter. So it's a very in-depth research paper that's actually cited by a lot of prominent people. It's really interesting to understand. If you guys want to read it, it's like 15 pages, definitely a good read. You can look that up for yourself. But look, there's a couple of things I want to show you about these headlines and what they're attempting to do, right? Basically what they're saying here, in fact, we found evidence that the number of shares ubiquitously, et cetera, et cetera. What they're saying is that it's an inaccurate measure of actual readership. So the people that click a link or, share a link, right, on Twitter or whatever platform is not a good indicator of people actually reading, right? So what these guys are trying to do is they're trying to take advantage of headline manipulations, right? So we come over here. Here's just another part of the same article. First, 59% of the shared URLs are never clicked on, or we call them silent. So what they're disclosing, and you can read the whole article for yourself. Again, it adds to my point. Most people just read the headlines and just develop some type of, understanding of it without even reading anything. That's just how it is, human nature. Maybe it's laziness, maybe it's, quick gratification. I'm not going to dive into that, but it's just a fact. And everybody knows in social media, it's like clickbait. You can see it in my YouTube analytics. When someone clicks my video, I lose like 70% of people before the first 2 minutes. They say the human has a lower attention span than a goldfish, right? So most of these people they're just looking at the perception or reading a couple of lines, right? They're looking at the headline. And when you come back over here and the headlines are saying things like Bitcoin scam, we know Bitcoin didn't get hacked. It had nothing to do with Bitcoin directly. If anything, the susceptible one is Twitter. They got hacked, right? From their accounts. The centralized database got hacked, right? Not Bitcoin, but they're associating it with scam because none of them read into it. Think about it. When you learn cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, it's literally learning macroeconomics, the back end of the internet, cryptographic hacking, and finance all in one, right? So for people to really understand the concept of Bitcoin and how it actually works, it's going to be a long shot. Simple as that. People understand headlines and majority of them will. Okay, so this is clearly a social attack. So if we come over here, I experienced this in my marketing and my YouTube and everything, as well as this article states is the same way. So traffic and relevance of your perception of an article or video, doesn't matter what it is on the internet, it has two types of effect. They have the immediate effect and then they have the long tail effect. So the immediate effect is something popular, like a new announcement or something. That's the most amount of traffic, right? Like for example, the Twitter hack. The most amount of traffic this is ever going to get is in the next 2 days, right? But when it comes to long tail effect, there's other niche topics like lifetime, things that you can watch and read and consume over a long period of time. So for example, my videos, when I drop a video, it gets the most amount of views in the first couple of days. And then the algorithm will populate that video in a certain search term, whether the search term is Coinbase, doesn't matter what it is. This search term will generate me a certain amount of traffic consistently for the rest of its lifetime. That's what long tail effects is. So here's a physical graph, right? So as you can see here, the majority of the traffic happens in the beginning, right? That's what they try to take advantage with the headline and everything. And then you have the long-term effects where people are actually going to the niche because they believe in it. Like people are actually researching Bitcoin and they're being educated and making rational decisions. So I think this is really funny when, in the transaction history. So if you go back to the origin address, so they're basically saying, hey guys, send Bitcoin to this address. If you take that address, it's public. If you guys didn't know that, you can go on the Block Explorer and search the origin address. They searched it for us. And basically there was a hidden message. So when you send a Bitcoin, you actually have the ability to put text into it. And the text that the hackers wrote in the Bitcoin transaction history was, you take risk when use Bitcoin. For your Twitter game, Bitcoin is traceable. Why not Monero? So what they're trying to do right now is literally saying you take risk when you're using Bitcoin. They're in a way bashing Bitcoin, a negative connotation towards Bitcoin. And they're saying, in multiple ways, two different ways. You use risk when you use Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is traceable. Why not Monero? They're directing the spotlight to different coins. Okay, think about that, right? And let me just show you physical representation. You can see here, it shows this is the exact like transactions. You see how you can read it in there. It's interesting stuff. But the problem with this is that it's completely false. There is no reason for them to do that. If you guys were really hackers, they were really on the deep web, dark web, doing crazy things, right? And accepting cryptocurrency, the vast majority of them, as you can see in this chart here, accept cryptocurrency in Bitcoin, okay? Bitcoin is traceable, yes, but people have been getting in and out of Bitcoin for years, untracked. It's the majority, like I said, the majority of dark markets use it. And here's just like the breakdown. These are all the markets that accept Bitcoin versus Monero. You see Monero is only 2, you know, obviously the minority. And then there's some other places, these are markets, the dark markets accept certain cryptocurrencies. You can see the vast majority is Bitcoin. There's a lot of ways to get out. I referred to my securities expert and he basically said there's a lot of ways to get money through proxies, local Bitcoins, basically sending these Bitcoins to contractors, using proxies to send them. And then having them cash out physically and giving them a percentage. Also, there's another, you know, service that our own exchanges are offering basically, which if you guys don't know what the Rogue 100 is, they're a group of people that are basically laundering money through exchanges that you guys know of, right? Total value of Bitcoin received by Rogue 100. They're laundering it through our exchanges, right? You can see here back in October, for example, you know, 2019, $300 million. This is a common thing everyone kind of knows of. There's only so much that they can, you know, withhold on these exchanges, and certain money is being laundered. Why would these people on Twitter put a message converting back to Monero? Okay. Why would they say, hey, use Monero as a coin when we know that it's not, there's no real application of Monero other than the fact that it has privacy built in. But the vast majority of these people are accepting Bitcoin, and there's other methods of getting your money out without being traced. Bitcoin's being utilized for a reason. Why would they say Monero? Well, the reason they're saying Monero is because they're trying to take the spotlight away from Bitcoin. I want to show you guys something very, very interesting. If you look at the address here, you can see this is the origin address that we were talking about. This is the scammers, right? You can see they've only accumulated 12.8 BTC. So you're telling me they hacked the Twitter accounts of the top people in the world, right? Top, like we're talking about past presidents and Kanye West. They hacked the most popular people in the world only to receive 12.8 Bitcoin, which is a little bit over $100,000. They could have sold this type of access to a lot of people. Now, talking to my securities expert, he basically said they had a time frame. So this might have been the most lucrative option for them. Don't get me wrong. There might have been, you know, a country on standby that you could sell this to, I guess. But I would say that to do something like this, so something so dramatic like this, you know, you would hope to make a lot more money. So the financial incentive for them to pull off this hack is not there. There's not that much financial incentive for them to do this. We even said the message is pretty fishy because Monero is not accepted in the dark web. And I'm sure most hackers don't use Monero. That's confirmed. So why would they tell people to go to Monero? The only conclusion I can make is that this is a smearing campaign. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a good way to put scam right next to Bitcoin. And it's worked in the past. It could potentially work in the short term. But like we said before, bringing it back to this article, the vast majority of traffic and the vast majority of understanding is always long term, right? People always get caught up, and this is how monetary system works now and modern society in general. They always get caught up in quick fix solutions. Nothing gets fixed at the core, right? So the way I look at it is over the long run, it's still bullish fundamentally, right? There's no hack, obviously, it's very clear mind, but you want to do the exact opposite of what everybody else is perceiving. So right now, this is going to cause a lot of common people that don't understand the dynamics of social conditioning. It's going to have a lot of common people. We already see the consensus before this hack. There's been so much bearish everything. This is definitely a fake motivation for the dumping price of Bitcoin. And as we always say on this channel, do the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing. Now, I'm not going to go buy extra Bitcoin, but I will say that this is a huge bullish indicator, in my honest opinion, the fact that they are trying to frame, this negative, it's obvious. It's a joke. It's almost like everything they said was clearly wrong by people that know. And then people that don't know, it's going to condition them in a certain way. It's taking the attention away from, Bitcoin, maybe to have some type of other coin, prosper, as DeFi has been doing really well. I'm sure a lot of this is driving adoption for cryptocurrency, guys. So Stay woke, keep your head up, don't get caught in these Ponzi schemes. Do your own research. Clearly, always do your own research. Don't leave it up to me. Don't leave it up to anybody. And if you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say, if you don't get with this technology, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Catch you in the next one.